So what is going on, everybody? Today we're going to be doing the vendor reset a little bit different. I wanted to find Miss Mendoza, the gunrunner, first, and then we're going to do a full vendor reset of everything. There wasn't a lot in the main vendors, but there was a couple items I think a lot of you guys might actually enjoy. So what we're gonna do here is, let's start with Miss Mendoza first. The first item that's on here that might be decently that a lot of you guys might want are these contractor gloves. I know they're not really rolled the best, but this might be a great starter piece for a lot of you guys because it has weapon damage, damage to armor, and you can reroll that skill damage. Now, if you are trying to make some type of skill damage build, maybe you could throw this on there, but ideally weapon damage, damage to armor, and then I would reroll that skill damage for critical hit damage or critical hit chance. This is a great starter piece if you don't have one pair already. You can buy this right today. Now remember, the Shield Splinter and the Hunter Killer, the only way this is going to show up is if you've done DC Hunters. The 12 Hunters, I have a guide on this channel on how to get them. And then the New York Hunters, I have a full guide on how to get all of these. Now, both of these items were averagely rolled. Nothing I would stress about getting this week. Now, for the green gear sets, they do have an Aces and 8 backpack. I typically don't run the Aces and 8 backpack in my Aces and 8s builds, and most people don't. I'll probably pass on this. The same with the ongoing directive chest piece. Now, with these hardwired gloves, this could be a great pickup if you're trying to build a hardwired build. It already has skill tier, and then you could put skill damage where that critical hit damage is. Now, these are two pieces I always use in my Eclipse builds. I always run the knee pads and I always run the holster. Skill tier, status effects, and then the same thing with this one. Skill tier, status effects is how I would go with both of these. So if you guys are looking at building a status effect build, which I think if you don't have one already, great pickups. This is two less pieces you have to farm. Now, they do have a True Patriot mask that is God rolled with 170,000 armor, and then you can re-roll that critical hit damage for whatever you want. You could do a couple things here. If you're new, returning, and don't have an 170,000 armor roll for your recalibration library, I would put that in there. Now, if you've been thinking about creating a True Patriot build, it's been on the back burner, it's always great to pick up pieces like this where you just have to roll one item and you have yourself a nice God roll item. So if you guys have been looking for this piece to put on other builds, I would grab this. Now, this Police T821, I would just pick it up because it does have a high crit chance, and this would actually just go to my library. It's not fully maxed out, but you could actually take this if you don't have one, put it into your library, and well, you're 0.5 closer to being maxed out. There's a Marine Super 90. I would actually pass on this, but it does have the talent Flatline that amplifies weapon damage by 15% to pulse enemies. So I would actually buy this, and then you could put this new talent, which most of you probably don't have, put this into your library, and now you have Flatline for your shotguns. They do have a decently rolled Sokolov backpack. It has weapon damage, headshot damage, critical hit chance, and what you could do here is re-roll that talent for pretty much anything. So if you guys have been looking at creating something with the Sokolov backpack, another great starter piece, not amazingly rolled, but some pretty decently rolls, and then you could just re-roll the talent. They have a Bellstone Armory mask with maxed out 10% hazard protection. This piece would strictly be used for that 10% hazard protection for my recalibration library. So for you new returning players, a great piece to pick up. And then everything else I didn't see that you guys needed here. But yeah, those are the items I would pick up from the gunrunner. Remember, she's here every 24 hours. So she'll be here for 24 hours. She disappears, then she comes back, she disappears. So if you find the snitch, you find her location, well then you know you can come get here. So let's go check out the other vendors, and it's gonna be at the base of operation. So right here at the level 30 clan vendor, you remember this is the same vendor that's at Washington, DC or New York City. They do have a decently rolled long stick, which comes with Perfect Ranger, which amplifies weapon damage by 2% for every 4 meters you're away from the target. So you could re-roll the critical hit chance for damage targets out of cover, and not a bad snipe if you're looking for that. For the 3 green gear pieces, again, these are pieces that I wouldn't even pick up because typically with all 3 of these, you don't use the chest piece. So they're the ones that I will probably leave off. Some people do like using the rigger chest piece if you're trying to build a skill damage build because of the rigger chest piece talent, increased damage buff from 25% to 50%. So that could be something. But typically with most green gear sets, except a few, you don't really use the chest piece. But yeah, this is one that you probably could. Now there is an SR1 that I would pick up just for the 15% marksman rifle. And like I said, another one I would use for my recalibration library. I would just roll that off into the library so I can use it for other weapons. Now there is another weapon on here, but we'll keep going down. They have a tactical Super 90. I would pass on this one. They do have a stoner LMG, which I would use this 15% LMG damage for my library if I didn't have this. So instead of having to farm for this maxed out roll, you can just take this, put it in your library like the other one. So another good piece. And we're just gonna keep going down. Another almost maxed out sniper roll is this 110% headshot damage. Obviously 111% is the maxed out, but if you don't have this in your library, I would grab this one too. Another piece I would pick up. I will say this Araldi backpack that has marksman rifle damage for the one piece. It has weapon damage, headshot damage, and critical hit chance. And then I would reroll Energize for vigilance, and I actually use this same backpack on my sniper build. So if you've been looking for a piece that works great with the Aces and 8 build, well, this is gonna be one, and it's exactly the piece that I roll on mine with these same exact rolls. So a great another starter piece. And they do have a 511 holster with 10% hazard protection. I would just roll off this 10% hazard protection for my library, and another really good roll. That's why I said there is a lot of good roll pieces, not good pieces in general from the regular loot pool, but yeah, another maxed out roll for your library for all of you new and returning players. They do have, this is actually a new mod called Pulse Resistance. This is something new to the game to help you against being pulsed. Well, if you guys have been looking at creating those pulse builds, those pulse resistance builds, another one that you could probably pick up a few of these until you get maxed out rolls. I currently don't have any of these, so I'll probably grab a few of these. So this is a new mod that a lot of people tend to, they didn't look at in the past, and now they're looking at now. They do have a 10.8 critical hit damage mod right here. So obviously 12% is the max. So if you guys don't have any of these, you're new, you're returning, critical hit damage mods are very used in the Division 2. So if you don't have these, I'd recommend picking up at least 4 of them. And then obviously, once you get better ones, you could just discard these. And they have 11% protection from elites. These go up to 13%. Another one a lot of people like to use on a few of their builds. So I'd pick up at least 3 of these, maybe 4, and put them in your stash and just have them. So these 2, if you don't have them, grab them. Now, there is one more item I would pick up. It's actually here at the Haven. So it's actually a good thing that we're here. And we're gonna head over here. It's not that vendor right there. It's the first vendor when you come in at the Haven, and it's gonna be right over here. And right here, Mr. Roy, he does have one item I would pick up, and it's going to be, where is it at? Let's find it. Right here on this pistol, 10% headshot damage. Another good one that you could put onto your library. If you don't have this, I'd recommend grabbing it, taking that roll, putting it into your library, and another God roll attribute, right? So a lot of attributes this week, 4 God rolls, another really good piece. Now there is one last vendor, and he's gonna be at the base of operation in DC, only in DC, so let's head there. So once you make it to the base of operation, you might not have noticed there is a vendor for Countdown right over here. You grab this one, and look what she has. She also has another one that looks exactly like what was at Miss Mendoza. So if you don't see Miss Mendoza and you want the contracted gloves, well, like I said, decently roll, same rolls, 7.9% weapon damage, damage to armor, skill damage. I would reroll that skill damage and just put critical damage, and a great starter piece. But yeah, the thing with this is you will use those Countdown credits. So that is something for you guys to keep in mind if you guys have been looking for that. All 3 of these items, and obviously there's named item caches, optimization caches, season 9 caches, exotic caches. So would I spend it on these contracted gloves? I probably wouldn't. I would just wait to buy the one for Miss Mendoza and then just use my points on these, unless they ever put something a lot better than this. Right now, nothing's been really worth it that they've shown. Everything else, honestly, season 9 Hidden Alliance is where I would go. And that's it, guys. That is the vendor reset for this week. Hopefully you guys find some good items that you guys can pick up. And if you guys did, well, leave a thumbs up. And if you guys enjoy these videos, comment down below. Let me know if I missed any item that you thought might be a pickup this week. We're gonna wrap it up here, guys. Appreciate the support, appreciate the love. See you in the next one. Hey, nothing but skills is out.